Hello everybody, my name is Quinn. Well, today I'm going to be talking about crayons. Well, if you are a student who has a school that teaches you the subject of art, you probably know what is a crayon, right? A stick of wax used for drawing or writing. But we prepare it for painting and drawing for more. Especially when you're in kindergarten and first or second grades. A lot of teachers would teach you how to write in kindergarten by crayons, not by professional pens, but just by those colorful crayons. When I'm in kindergarten, my teacher teaches me how to write in crayons. And if we don't like to write in crayons, then she would teach us how to draw with crayons. In the past, when I'm just like in kindergarten, nearly everything where I learned needs drawing and sometimes a little bit writing too. Maybe sometimes you could just exercise outside or do some exercise to make yourself fit. But not always. When we study, we have books that are kind of big like this, like a Mike Lear bag, and it's pretty big. When we open it out, first there could be pictures for us to paint in, and there could be undone drawing for us to draw. Well, we use those sticks of those wax, those crayons, to draw and write inside those pictures. In the past, when in kindergarten, we don't just write everything out by a professional pen or even a pencil. We doesn't use that. Maybe in your school there would, but in my place, there's none of that. We just use crayons. And in my place, we just studies about how to draw and how to paint, and just a little bit of writing by crayons. We doesn't use those expensive pens like I purchased when I'm in grade 1 or grade 2. Well, crayons is used for kids that are 3 years old or more. Usually kids, toddlers, and people would use, but usually kids that are from 10 and younger would use it for more, because in that time they doesn't really use other things to write. They use a pen for drawing and writing. And in that time, they doesn't really prefer of how to hold the pens that are professional, and crayons, I must say, is probably really cheaper than just a pencil. Like, look, if you broken a crayon out, maybe it will be softer than the pencil, but when you've broken it out, you still have something to draw. And when you broke a pencil, it's nearly like you ruin it. And there will be a pretty hard chance if you reuse it, right? For everyone to use, I don't really recommend it. People who are like from grade 3 up to write their informations by those color wax, right? When you're in kindergarten, maybe you use that not just because it was cheap, but also it activates your right brain, the brain of creativity. You activate that brain up. When you're younger, when you're older, you already activate your right brain. You use your left brain for a lot more. And also your informations and crayons will be worse, because crayons, if you use your hand and push on the paper in the place where there's the color wax, then it will make those crayons to get the colors everywhere, and that will be really ugly. Even if you're students, you doesn't sign important documents, you doesn't print documents for your boss, you doesn't at all, you still have to make sure that your book when you study is, of course, is beautiful, right? Like you aren't allowed to draw everything inside your study book. Maybe if it's just a notebook that we use for calculatings, a book that we doesn't use for lots of things, then maybe it will be accepted. But in such situations, it's not. And crayons are used in a lot of use, not just to draw. You could use it to paint and draw. That's the world's most popular reason why you use crayons. You use crayons for drawing and painting. Writing too, you write things. You could highlight some things. And you could maybe decorate a piece of paper. Right? Like, why not? It is used in a lot of uses, and everyone could use it, except for kids that are too young. If they're too young, they doesn't know that, oh, this is a thing that you can't eat. If they eat it, then it's going to be a real situation. Well, today we've talked about crayons. And if you like, you could go and watch my previous video about how crayons are made. Now, I'll see you guys later, and crayons are the best. Goodbye.